The rains came early that morning, a steady, angry Lagos downpour that blurred car horns and flooded streets. Adaoma sat in silence, curled up on her leather sofa, watching the water streak down her balcony glass like tears. But today, it wasn't the rain that troubled her, it was the silence from Chief Edwin. 3 days. No calls. No transfers. No "where are you" messages. She had called, texted, left voice notes. Nothing. The last time he was this silent, he was with his family in Abuja. But this time felt different. Something was wrong. News that shook her. By 4 p.m., her heart almost leaped out of her chest when her friend Ife called, whispering in panic. "Babe, off your IG, delete all links to Chief Edwin. Them don't carry ammo. EFCC picked him up for fraud and money laundering." "What?" Adaoma gasped, clutching her phone. "No big matter. Them freeze all his accounts. Some babes wey dey link to am don dey invite them too. I hear say them dey trace everything." "Adaoma, run oh." Adaoma dropped the call. Her heart raced. Her stomach churned. Her legs couldn't move. All her alerts, gone. Her rent, unpaid. Her car, registered in Chief's name. Her soft life, now a ticking time bomb. The immediate fallout. Within hours, bloggers were already posting. "Another slay queen in trouble, see how this influencer is linked to arrested billionaire Chief Edwin." Her pictures started flying online. People were digging up her old videos, zooming in on her background. One photo had Chief's wristwatch in the corner. Another had her beside his car. And then came the comments. "All these fake Lagos girls, no wetin una dey chop. Karma dey come. She don mute now ABI. Where the skincare products dey? Village girls with cheap wigs pretending to be CEOs. LOL." Adaoma watched in horror. She tried to message her boutique plug, blocked. She called her hairstylist, no answer. She went on Instagram to defend herself, but her hands trembled. Instead, she took the page down. Ugochukwu finds out. A few days later, Ugochukwu called. "I'm checking on you," he said calmly. "But I won't lie. I saw your pictures in those blogs. Is it true? Are you involved with Chief Edwin?" Adaoma was silent for too long. "Ugo, it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "Because this isn't the woman I met. I thought you were real with me." She opened her mouth to explain, but no words came. No excuse made sense. "Adaoma," he said softly, "maybe you should find yourself first before looking for love." Click. The line went dead. Alone again. That night, Adaoma couldn't breathe. She laid on the cold floor, staring at the ceiling, tears rolling freely. The power was out. Her fridge was empty. The fuel in the generator had finished. She was down to 4,300 Nigerian nairas. The AC apartment now felt like a cage. She had lied to everyone. Her village family. Her followers. Her lovers. Herself. A glimmer of grace. Just as her world collapsed, an unexpected knock came at the door. It was Mama Nkechi, the elderly woman from the next block who sold fruits downstairs. Adaoma had once helped her carry bananas up the stairs 2 months ago. "My daughter," she said gently, "I dey go church program. Them dey pray for people wey need new beginning. Come join me." No shame inside church oh. Adaoma hesitated. But in that moment of emptiness, something stirred in her, a tiny spark of hope. She nodded slowly. In the small church hall, barefoot, no makeup, in a simple Ankara gown, Adaoma knelt. For the first time in years, she wasn't Queen Ada. She was just Adaoma, broken, ashamed, but finally honest. And through her tears, she whispered, God, if you give me one more chance, I will live my truth. Behind her, Mama Nkechi laid hands on her back and prayed in Igbo. Chukwu gozi gi, NWAM imizi aichi diko Igbo miri. You will rise again, but this time, without a mask. It had been 2 weeks since Adaoma deleted her Instagram account. 2 weeks since Chief Edwin's arrest. 2 weeks since Ugochukwu walked away. And 2 weeks since the world stopped pretending she mattered. Her apartment lease was due, and there was no help coming. Even Ife, her once loyal friend, now kept her distance. I warned you now. I no one make them drag me too. EFCC they watch everybody. With no cash left and whispers growing louder, Adaoma quietly packed a few belongings and left the Lekki apartment before the caretaker came knocking. Nowhere to go. She slept her first night back in Ajigona, on the same floor she once shared with Ife years ago. But this time, Ife didn't offer her space. Babe, make I no lie, you don't too attract Wala. And my new man no go like am if he see you here. So Adaoma left before morning. With no other option, she found herself at Mama Nkechi's store, head bowed. The woman looked at her with pity, not judgment. You get where you dey go? No, Adaoma said quietly. Come carry this orange. And come follow me. That was how Adaoma found herself sleeping on the floor of a fruit seller's one-room apartment, surrounded by crates and woven baskets. No light. No AC. Just messy. A job nobody knew about. By the end of that week, Adaoma began hawking oranges and groundnuts for Mama Nkechi near the park. At first, she wrapped a scarf tightly around her face to hide. But Lagos didn't care. The same people who once envied her online now passed her by, unbothered. Her fans didn't recognize her without makeup or ring light. At first, it broke her. But slowly, it began to heal her. The woman who saw her worth. One evening, at a nearby hotel where she often stood to sell oranges, a tall, elegant woman in her 50s walked out, wearing a church wrapper and a stern face. She paused and stared at Adaoma. What's your name? Adaoma, she stammered. You have the hands of someone with skill. Not someone who should be carrying baskets under the sun. That woman, Mrs. Oluchi, was a pastor's wife and the director of a local catering school. Come tomorrow. We are starting a 3-month program. You'll learn how to cook professionally, serve, and even bake. I will sponsor you. But only if you're ready to forget the past and walk like never before. Tears fell from Adaoma's eyes. I am ready, Ma. Then show me. Don't talk, walk. The new journey begins. The next morning, Adaoma tied her scarf, wore a second-hand black skirt, and reported to the catering school. She didn't post it. She didn't take selfies. She just walked. She cleaned, learned recipes, served others, and washed plates, not as a slay queen, but as a student with nothing to prove. For the first time in a long while, she felt peace. No lies. No chief. No ring light. Just her, and her truth. Whispers from the past. One afternoon, as she mopped the classroom floor, she saw a familiar face walk past the open window. Ugochukwu. He froze. She froze too. He entered slowly, his eyes wide with disbelief. Adaoma. What are you? What is this place? She looked up, her face flushed, hands trembling. I'm starting over, she said softly. I'm learning who I really am. No filters this time. Ugochukwu was silent for a while, then smiled. I prayed for this version of you. The one that doesn't hide. Adaoma broke down in tears. But not from shame this time. From grace. That night, as Adaoma lay on a mat in Mama Nkechi's room, her hands calloused and her stomach half full, she smiled. Not because life was perfect. But because for the first time in years, She wasn't pretending anymore. And in that truth, she had found peace. The catering school kitchen buzzed with the sound of clanging pots and sizzling oil. Adaoma, now dressed in a white apron and net cap, stood confidently at the center of it all, her hands kneading dough while her eyes scanned every detail like a seasoned chef. It had been 7 weeks since she started her training. And in those weeks, Adaoma had transformed. She no longer flinched when people looked her way. She no longer avoided mirrors. She was learning again, not just cooking, but patience, discipline, and pride in honest work. Her classmates admired her. Even Mrs. Oluchi, who barely smiled, often nodded approvingly as Adaoma mastered new techniques. A chance to prove herself. One afternoon, Mrs. Oluchi walked in with a clipboard in hand and made an announcement. "We've been invited to cater for a small wedding in Ikeja. I need 2 of my students to lead the team. I already chose one. The second person will be." She looked around, then said firmly, "Adaoma." There was silence. Then claps. Adaoma blinked back tears. She never imagined a day would come when she would be trusted with something that mattered, not her body, not her beauty, but her hands. Her skill. Her effort. That night, she went home and hugged Mama Nkechi tightly. "Mama, I was chosen. Chinik Imego. I told you, NWAM, your light go still shine. But this time, no real light, not borrowed spotlight." A familiar face at the wedding. The wedding came quickly. They served jollof rice, egusi soup, and freshly baked cupcakes. Adaoma moved with confidence, directing junior staff, plating meals, and organizing drinks. As she stepped out with a tray of meat pies, she saw a familiar figure seated under the tent. Obinna. The same cousin who had once blackmailed her. He froze when their eyes met. But this time, Adaoma didn't cower. She walked up to him, dropped the tray, and smiled. "Hope you're enjoying the food. I helped make it." Obinna swallowed hard. I see you're doing okay now. I heard about Chief Edwin." "I didn't mean." She cut him off politely. "We all make mistakes. I've made mine too. But I've decided not to wear shame anymore. God is rewriting my story." Obinna looked at her, ashamed. "You be strong, woman. I swear, I never believed you'd come out of that mess." "Neither did I," she said softly. "But truth is powerful. It's slow, but it saves." Social media, revisited. Later that week, Mrs. Oluchi encouraged the students to open small pages to showcase their catering skills. Adaoma hesitated. Her fingers hovered over the screen as she created a new account. @adas_touch_. No filters. No lies. No fake locations. Just simple videos of food, quotes about growth, and stories of starting over. To her surprise, people responded. Not with envy, but with respect. "I remember you from Queen Ada days. You're brave for telling your truth. God bless your hustle. Your rice looks amazing. You're the reason I'm deleting my fake page today. Thank you." Ugochukwu returns. One cool evening, as she finished a cake delivery to Surale, her phone buzzed. "Ugochukwu." "Hey?" "Hi," she said, smiling nervously. "I saw your new page. You're doing really well." "I'm trying," she replied. "This time, the right way." He paused, then said gently. "There's something about people who fall and rise again. They shine brighter. Adaoma, if you're open to it, I'd like to know this version of you better." Tears welled up in her eyes. "This version is still under construction," she whispered. "Then let me walk beside you while it's being built." That night, Adaoma sat under Mama Nkechi's roof, notebook in hand, writing out her first real catering package and pricing plan. It wasn't much. But it was hers. Earned. Pure. True. For the first time. I don't feel like I'm running anymore, she wrote. I'm walking. Slowly. Honestly. And it's enough. The sun was already high as Adaoma adjusted her gele and checked the time on her small Nokia phone. It was the morning of her first paid solo catering event, a 50th birthday celebration for a retired civil servant in Festac. It wasn't a huge event, but to Adaoma, it felt like cooking for a king. With 2 apprentices from her training school and Mom Nkechi helping with final touches, she packed steaming pots of jollof rice, pepper soup, momo, goat meat, and freshly baked chin-chin into the delivery van she hired from the local church transport ministry. As they drove off, she whispered a prayer. Chinik, I am no longer Queen Ada. I am just Adaoma. Let me serve with joy, not pride. The event that changed everything. The birthday party was held in a spacious compound with white tents, pink decor, and a live band humming high life songs. Guests were everywhere, women in lace wrappers and men in ISI Igbo, fanning themselves with event souvenirs. Adaoma walked quickly, organizing the food table, instructing her helpers, and checking every plate before it left the serving station. Then something unexpected happened. A well-dressed woman in gold lace walked up to her. She had piercing eyes, confidence, and wore a heavy designer perfume. Excuse me, you're the caterer, right? Yes, ma, Adaoma replied with a smile. Did you once go by the name Queen Ada on Instagram? Adaoma froze. Please, ma, yes, but that life is gone. This is who I am now. The woman raised her eyebrows and then smiled softly. Interesting. I run a show called Real Women, Real Hustle on City TV. I love your story. If you're serious about this new path, I want you to be one of my next guests. Adaoma stared, wide-eyed. Me? On TV? Yes. We need real stories. Not fake lives. Call me. The woman handed her a card. That night, Adaoma returned home, her heart still racing. Why me, God? After everything, she whispered as she lay on her mattress in Mom Nkechi's room. She held the card like it was a golden ticket. But doubt crept in. What if people mock me again? What if the old Queen Ada clips resurface? What if this brings shame back to my door? She cried quietly. Then she remembered something her mother used to say. Your story isn't over until it's told the right way. Preparing to face the world again, she decided to do the interview. With help from Ugochukwu, who had become a steady and kind presence in her life, she got a simple gown from Balegan Market, fixed her hair into neat cornrows, and rehearsed her story. Not the glamorous version. Not the sugar-coated one. But the truth. The day of the interview. The studio was bright, and the cameras intimidating. The host introduced her warmly. Today, we have a woman who once lived a lie to survive but found healing in truth. Please welcome, Adaoma of Ada's Touch Catering. As the cameras rolled, Adaoma told it all. The move from Umuoji village to Lagos. The fake accent, designer lies, and photo shoots in hotels pretending to live large. The night she fainted in Chief Edwin's house. Her breakdown. Her redemption through catering and the love she found in honest work. People watching from across Nigeria cried. Many saw themselves in her. Social media after the show. Her page at @adas_touch_ exploded with new followers. But not all comments were kind. Is this not the same girl that used to sleep with old men? Hypocrite. Omo, this one rebrand now oh. Lagos girls and their tricks. But others defended her. She's brave for telling her story. At least she changed. This is why young girls need to hear stories like this. Fake life no dey pay. Adaoma didn't reply to anyone. Instead, she posted a simple caption under a photo of her holding a plate of egusi. No more filters. No more lies. Just pepper, salt, and purpose. Later that night, Ugochukwu visited with a bouquet of flowers. You were amazing on TV. I was terrified, Adaoma confessed. Still, you didn't hide. And that makes you powerful. She looked at him, tears in her eyes. Do you still want to walk beside someone with such a messy past? He reached for her hand. Only if she wants to walk into a bright future. 3 months after the TV interview, Adaoma's life took a completely new turn. Her catering business, Ada's Touch, was getting daily bookings. She had partnered with a local event decorator, and they were slowly building a name in Lagos. She even began training 3 young girls from her area who came to Lagos looking for jobs, just like she once did. But one quiet Wednesday afternoon, an email dropped into her inbox. Subject: Youth Empowerment Invitation, Umuoji Community. From omojidevelopment@gmail.com. Adaoma's heart skipped. It was an invitation from her village's youth leadership board. They had watched her interview on Real Women, Real Hustle and wanted her to speak at their Homegrown Dreams event, a new initiative to encourage young girls to choose purpose over pretense. You are a living example of rising after falling. Come inspire our daughters, the email ended. Adaoma held her breath. She hadn't been home in almost 6 years. Not since she ran off in shame with nothing but a black nylon bag and big dreams. The journey home. On the day of the event, she wore a beautiful white lace dress with gold embroidery, her hair tied in a neat scarf. Ugochukwu insisted on driving her down with his new Camry, saying, Adaoma, your return must not be small. As they entered Umuoji, the red earth roads welcomed her with memories. She saw Mama Obayoma's shop still standing, the old primary school fence now painted with youth slogans, and the stream where she once fetched water with broken slippers. When they got to the town hall, a crowd had gathered. Colorful canopies were up, village drummers were playing, and girls were marching on chorus skirts. The speech. When Adaoma stepped onto the podium, the murmuring stopped. Some recognized her. Some gossiped. Some watched, curious. She began slowly. My name is Adaoma. I was born right here in Umuoji. I was once that girl who thought Lagos was heaven. I ran away to escape poverty. But what I found there was worse than poverty, it was the prison of pretending. She paused. I became Queen Ada. The girl with fake pictures, fake accent, fake lifestyle, just to feel wanted. I lied to the world. But in the end, I nearly lost myself. She looked into the crowd. But grace found me. Through pain, I found purpose. Now I cook for a living, I speak the truth for healing, and I serve from my heart, not from filters. Tears welled in her eyes. Dear daughters of Umuoji, you don't need to become someone else to be great. Your name, your roots, your truth, they are enough. The hall was silent. Then, applause erupted. Mothers clapped. Fathers nodded. The youth stood, chanting her name. Unexpected visitor. After the event, as people took pictures and thanked her, an older woman stood quietly by a mango tree, holding a raffia basket. It was Nneka, Adaoma's childhood best friend. The same friend she abandoned without a word when she ran away. Ada, Nneka called softly. Adaoma turned. Her heart stopped. Nneka, oh God. I'm sorry. She ran and hugged her. Both women sobbed in public. Years of pain, misunderstanding, and silence melted in that one embrace. You don't owe me an apology. You owe yourself peace, Nneka whispered. Will you ever forgive me? I already have. We all fall. But it's what we rise as that matters. The rebirth of Adaoma. That night, Adaoma stayed with her aunt, Mama Ijeoma, who prepared yam pottage and bitter leaf soup. They sat outside on a bench under the moonlight, listening to crickets and old radio songs. "NNEM, I'm proud of you," her aunt said. "You went to the city and came back with wisdom, not just money." Adaoma smiled. For the first time in years, she felt whole. Closing scene. Back in Lagos a week later, Adaoma launched a new project. Girls Like Me, a free monthly workshop for young ladies trying to navigate city life. She began her first session with the words, "This is not just my story. It is ours. And today, we write a better chapter, together." It had been 2 months since Adaoma returned from Umuoji. Her workshops were gaining attention across Lagos, and she was now being recognized not for beauty or luxury, but for impact. She had become a voice for lost girls, a mentor to the voiceless, and a woman of substance. One Sunday afternoon, after wrapping up a Girls Like Me session, she received an unexpected visitor at her mini catering office. A sleek black Prado Jeep parked in front. Out stepped Tony Okudili, the ex-senator's son. Yes. That Tony. The one who once used her like a toy, discarded her like trash, and called her a perfect illusion. Her blood froze. She hadn't seen him in 3 years. "Adaoma," he said with a charming smirk. "Or should I say, Queen Ada?" She raised her brows, calm but guarded. "What are you doing here? I saw your interview. You've changed. You look real now. Powerful. I respect that." She folded her arms. "So why are you here?" Tony looked around and chuckled. "To offer you something better. I'm launching a luxury lifestyle brand. Influencers, models, branding deals. I want you to be the face of it. You'll earn 6 figures monthly, travel first class, and wear only the best. No stress, just glamour. All you have to do is return to the scene. Let go of this humble pie and come back bigger, richer, more famous." The test. Adaoma laughed, softly, then bitterly. "You mean go back to lies? Who cares about truth in this world?" Tony scoffed. "People believe what you show them. Be smart, Ada. Use your new fame. Fake it, like before, but now with class. You destroyed my self-worth once. Do you think money will buy me again? Come on. People change. I'm offering you the world." She stared at him for a long second. Then slowly, she walked to her office wall and took down a framed photo. It was a picture of her hugging 3 of her trainees, her orphans from Ajigona. "See those girls?" she asked. "They look up to me. They trust me. If I take your deal, I teach them that a lie can save you. But it never does. It only steals time." Tony frowned. "So you're saying no?" She stepped forward, smiled calmly, and said, "I'm saying never again." Public statement. The next morning, Adaoma posted on her Instagram. "Yesterday, I was offered a golden cage dressed as opportunity. I almost entered it. But I remembered who I am now. Truth may cost you in the beginning, but in the end, it pays you back with peace. And peace is priceless. #RealOverreach #Girls Like Me." The post went viral again. The final transformation. Months passed. Ada's touch expanded into 2 more locations. Girls Like Me became a registered NGO. Adaoma was nominated for Young Humanitarian Woman of the Year. But one thing remained unchanged, her heart. She never returned to the fake life. She didn't chase validation. She built legacy. The very last scene, at home. One evening, Adaoma stood at the balcony of her mother's flat, holding a warm cup of zobo. Ugochukwu came behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. "So Madam CEO, what next?" he asked. "Next," she smiled. "To keep showing young girls that they are enough just as they are. You've come a long way, Adaoma. She turned to him, eyes full of grace. Yes. But I didn't find myself in the city. I found myself in the truth. The camera zooms out slowly, capturing the glow of her home, the laughter of her trainees in the background, and the sparkle of a woman reborn. The end. Please like, subscribe and comment what you learned so far.